Our mission is to equip churches, both here and in Romania, to evangelize and disciple people with disabilities. Our vision is to accelerate Christian ministry in the disability community. And we do this because Jesus said so in Luke 14, where he calls us to go quickly and compel the poor and the cripple and the lame and the blind to come in so that God's house will be full.
I have personally gained what I would consider more of a Christ-likeness.
It definitely just helped me understand that people are the same, I guess. Like I said, when I went, I was afraid to even really be around people affected by disability because I didn't know what to do. And by the time I had left, that was like the transition from really not knowing what to do with people affected by disability and being nervous around them to, hey, these are cool people, these are amazing people, and they just need to be loved and cared about just like everybody else.
Joni and Friends helps people with disabilities have a voice in the community from a Christian perspective. There's a lot of good agencies in town that help people with disability, but Joni and Friends is unique in that it's Christ-centered and our focus is on.
Through the Roof helps prepare people for serving in their own churches. It opens their eyes to the mission of Joni and Friends, of reaching out to all people, particularly people who are disabled.
And then doing the Through the Roof trainings, that's honestly that when I first got started with Joni and Friends, I mean, I was a little more apprehensive, but as the trainings went along and I understood what was going on, I felt much more comfortable. But I think more of the impact came with pretty much the one-on-one conversations during those trainings times with people who had specific questions that would come to me and ask about, why was this happening, or what can we do about this particular type of disability in our church. I think those one-on-one conversations meant more to me than they did if I was, going from training session to training session.
It's in many ways like a glimpse of heaven. There's very much unconditional love and caring and nurturing, and the entire family is included. Even our precious son David, who was severely disabled, and we felt accepted and loved and very cherished.
People are at peace, loving each other. There's a supportive atmosphere and a loving atmosphere that is almost, well, I'm never at a loss for words, but whenever I try to describe family retreat, I always find myself at a loss for words. It is just, you've got to be there and experience it to really understand it.
I didn't know about the camp. It was actually through my church, Northwest, that had sponsored me and my family to attend the first Central California Joni and Friends camp, and I was nervous. It's very difficult for me to let go of my child for 10 minutes, never mind a day, but it was wonderful. They met not only my daughter's needs, but also the other children that I'm raising. They met my nieces and nephews' needs, because sometimes they can get lost in the shuffle of having to take care of this other person, and they just went and they had fun, and it was great for everybody. And so I really went thinking, I don't know, I'm exhausted, I don't know if I want to do this, but had a great time and wanted to go back the next year. And my nieces wanted to go back and serve. They didn't want to go back and be served, they wanted to go back and serve. And so to me that says a lot.
The Wheels for the World program is so important. There are over 60 million people worldwide who need wheelchairs. My daughter is one of them. She uses a wheelchair she has since she was 3 years old. And when I ask my daughter, what does your wheelchair mean to you? She says, Daddy, my wheelchair is my life. Without my wheelchair, I wouldn't have a life. And so when we give a wheelchair to somebody in the gospel of Jesus Christ, we are giving them life. We're giving them mobility here on this earth and possibility for eternal life through Jesus Christ.
I understand respite care to be a time when families really get the break that they need, whether it's a single mom or a single dad or families that just don't get the time to look at each other's face. I think it's a really sweet time when brothers and sisters who have special needs get a break away from the routine. And the parents, whether it's a date night or a shopping time or just sitting at it, looking at each other with the coffee cup in their hand, I think it's a sweet time for them and allows for us as the body to minister in a practical way. Respite care is a necessary program because it actually allows the families to have that time to reconnect and time for the families to find support, some time away.
I learned Jesus through my involvement here, and to me there's nothing more important in this life.